Haji the Complainer got pregnant. Once upon a time, in a bustling town filled with the echoes of daily life, there lived a man whom everyone called Haji the Complainer. He was a peculiar man, not for his wealth or status, but for his relentless habit of finding faults in everything around him. Haji had 11 wives, and curiously, each of them bore some imperfection, whether by accident or design. It was his strange way of controlling them. Whenever they wanted to go to the public bath, he would pay the owner in advance to reserve it solely for them, ensuring they could bathe together without being seen by others, a measure to protect their dignity in society, or so he claimed. One day, as fate would have it, a curious young girl decided to uncover the secret behind the mysterious behavior of Haji's wives. She slipped into the bath unnoticed, hiding in the shadows, her heart pounding with excitement and apprehension. As the women began their ritual of washing and tending to themselves, the girl observed quietly, and then, summoning her courage, she stepped out from her hiding spot and approached them, only to witness something shocking. Each woman was missing something, a clipped ear here, a finger there. None of their bodies were without flaw. She gasped and asked, "Why are all of you so damaged?" Realizing that their secret had been discovered, the women could do nothing but reveal the truth. "It is Haji the Complainer who has done this to us," they confessed. The girl, moved by their plight, scolded them gently yet firmly. "It is because of your own passivity that he can treat you this way. Come with me, and I will help you seek justice. I will make him so embarrassed that he won't dare raise his head again." She gave them the directions to this house and then quietly left the bath. When the women returned home, they prepared an elaborate lunch and set the table by noon. Haji arrived, not even exchanging a greeting or asking about their day. Sat at the head of the table, he tasted the food and displeased, threw his plate into the center of the table, sitting back with a frown. The wife, trembling and fearful, stood before him with hands clasped in submission. Haji grumbled, "If I had a good wife, my life wouldn't be like this. I wouldn't have to eat tasteless food every day." One of the wives spoke up, eager to shift his mood. "Haji, today I saw a girl in the bath whose face shone like the full moon," another added, "and her eyes, they were more beautiful than those of a gazelle." The third wife praised her cheeks. "They were like ripe red apples," and the fourth added with a sigh, "and her lips and teeth perfection itself." Their flattery was so heartfelt, so vivid, that Haji's heart softened instantly. He fell in love with her at first sight. Seeing Haji's delight, the first wife asked, "Shall we bring her to you, Haji?" Haji nodded, hesitating only briefly. "I am willing, but I fear the expenses." The second wife offered, "I will buy her clothes myself." The third promised her jewelry. The fourth, her shoes and veil. And the fifth, her chest box. Each wife contributed something to ensure the wedding arrangements could proceed. While the first wife noted, "Only the religious cleric's fee remains. We will manage that as well." And so they took Haji to propose formally. After some discussion, the girl's father consented, and the wedding was arranged. On the wedding night, the bride adorned one hand, one foot, and half her face with makeup and went to the bridal chamber. The next morning, Haji saw the bride in the daylight and muttered to himself, astonished by her makeup. Though he wanted to begin his usual complaining, he restrained himself because he was late. Quickly heading to market, on the way he purchased a large sack of eggplants and sent it home. The bride, aware of Haji's tendency to find faults, instructed the wives, "This is only the beginning. We must prepare every possible dish with these eggplants," leaving him no excuse to complain. They followed her advice meticulously. That evening, Haji returned home and immediately sat at the table. As soon as his eyes fell upon the eggplant stew, his temper flared. "How did you know I wanted eggplant stew? Perhaps I wanted an eggplant soup instead," he barked. One of the wives quickly brought a bowl of eggplant soup, placing it before him, saying politely, "Here you are, Haji." Haji still grumbled, scolded, "Why didn't you ask me first? You just cook whatever you like." Another wife brought a tray of stuffed eggplants, and yet another a bowl of kashk with eggplant. Haji the Complainer found himself without a single reason to complain, until he spotted one last raw, unpeeled eggplant. With a frown, he remarked, "Perhaps I wanted to eat this one raw." The clever bride placed it on the table, saying, "Here you go, Haji, enjoy." Seeing that there was no more room for excuses, Haji lowered his head, ate quietly, and went to bed. Yet his mind churned with worry about what pretext he could invent tomorrow. The following morning, without eating breakfast, Haji went to the market and purchased a large sack, instructing a laborer, "I will get inside this sack, secure it tightly, carry me home, and do not open it until I arrive myself." Once the sack reached the house and the laborer left, the clever bride realized something suspicious. She watched closely and soon noticed the sack moving. It was Haji himself inside. He had staged this trick to see what the women would do in his absence, to hear their words and perhaps find a reason to complain. But the bride, calm and cunning, kept her composure. She called the women and explained, "Though Haji has instructed us not to open the sack until he returns, that doesn't mean we should just sit idle." One wife asked, "What should we do?" The bride, thinking quickly, said, "This sack is full of beets. Let's throw it into the pond so the mud and soil wash off." The women hesitated, worrying about Haji's reaction, but the bride reasoned, "He only said not to open the sack. He didn't forbid washing them. How would he know we didn't follow through?" Trusting her judgment, the women carried the sack and threw it into the pond. They beat it with sticks to clean it thoroughly. Soon, one of them, panicked, noticed the water turning red. The bride reassured, "It's nothing, just the beet juice coloring the water." But as they continued, the sack seemed to bleed like real blood, and the women, terrified, pulled it out, but dared not open it, still under Haji's unseen scrutiny. From inside the sack, a faint voice groaned, "Open the sack! I'm dying!" The bride, feigning strict obedience, replied, "Haji said not to open it until he comes. Whether you live or die is not our concern. We follow our husband's orders." The voice pleaded desperately, "I am Haji, please take me out." Only then did the women, realizing the truth, hurriedly unfasten the sack and pull him out. The bride exclaimed, "Oh, Haji, I could have died seeing you in there. Why did you go into the sack?" The wives, seeing Haji in pain and unable to answer, quickly changed his clothes and laid him in bed to rest. A few days later, Haji recovered enough to rise and tend to his daily affairs. The clever bride, stroking her belly, whispered, "Haji, I think there's news you should know." Haji, puzzled, asked, "What news?" She smiled slyly and said, "I believe you are pregnant." Haji blinked, utterly shocked. "Can a man even be pregnant?" he stammered. The bride reassured, "If God wills, anything is possible. You've had 12 wives and never a child. Perhaps this is divine justice." Haji, his hand on his belly, realized how swollen it had become after days of overeating and rest, and a flicker of fear passed through him. The news of Haji's pregnancy quickly spread throughout the town. Friends, relatives, and curious neighbors flocked to his house to see for themselves. A concerned elder asked Haji directly, "What has happened?" Haji blushed in embarrassment and remained silent. The bride, with a straight face, announced, "Greetings. We understand that Haji is 4 months pregnant and resting to ensure a healthy child." A skeptical townsman murmured, "Men can't get pregnant." The bride, unfazed, replied, "With God, anything is possible. A doctor has confirmed Haji's condition." The crowd erupted with whispers and laughter, teasing Haji with endless jibes and sarcastic remarks. As night fell and the house emptied, Haji reflected on the situation. He realized the entire town had tricked him and tarnished his pride so publicly that he could not stay. Afraid of further humiliation, Haji quietly gathered his belongings and fled in the dead of night, leaving his house and town behind. The next morning, when the wife awoke, discovered his absence. They rejoiced, knowing they were finally free from his endless complaining. From that day on, they lived happily and peacefully together. Some say that 12 years later, when Haji had grown tired of wandering from place to place, he decided to revisit his hometown secretly. Curious if people had forgotten him, As he neared the outskirts, he saw children playing in the field. Approaching them, he asked, "What are you doing here?" One child replied, "We want to play, but this boy keeps complaining and won't let us start." Haji called out, "Boy, why are you complaining?" The child answered, "I can't help it. I am Haji the Complainer's son." Upon hearing this, Haji realized the clever bride had ensured he could never return safely. So he turned away and left quietly, never to return. And so, dear friends, the story of Haji the Complainer comes to an end. Freed from his endless excuses and petty quarrels, his wives finally lived in harmony, laughter, and peace. Remember this tale, not just as a story of